Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about productivity and efficiency. And before getting into the video, I'll give you a bit of a context on why I'm actually making this video. I've been on this personal quest of finding a very perfect productivity routine for myself, and that led me to reading a lot of books on productivity. Books like Atomic Habits, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Eat That Frog, Getting Things Done, The 4-Hour Work Week, The Productivity Project, and related books on manifestation such as The Power of a Subconscious Mind, The Secret, or Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Absolutely brilliant books. But after reading all those things, trying to cling on to everything that it had to say so desperately, I have filtered out few things that actually works for me. So I am here to share what actually works for me very genuinely right here in this video. And it's up to you to decide whether you're going to try it out and actually inculcate the same things that I'm going to be talking about in this video in your life as well. So some of these things have been just a lot of advices from a lot of my mentors as well. So not entirely everything is from these books, but a lot of things is going to be picked up from here and there and from other life experiences and from a lot of trial and error, conclusions that I have got. So let's just get into it. So I believe in the concept of checklist and to-do lists. Checklists is for the things that you want to be done on a very ritualistic basis in your life, like very religiously. You have to do it as a ritual, but it will not have any immediate gratification. It's not going to give you any immediate results. For example, like yoga, meditation. Of course, they do have immediate, results or benefits that are very much visible, but it is something that requires discipline. And it's not all the time fun, especially if you're a beginner with it. So things like this, which needs to be done on an everyday basis, no matter what, comes into my checklist. So I use this habit tracker actually to, make sure my checklist is taken care, where I have all these things which I religiously repeat on a daily basis. So that was about the checklist, and something like this would help with the to-do list, which is nothing but the cliche to-do list of the tasks you need to get done on a daily basis. You can use something like this, or you can use an Android app for your mobile, or you can, have some PC apps as well. But I would personally recommend use something that requires you to write down these tasks, because the very act of writing somehow wires your brain to actually take action better. So that's my personal belief. You can choose whatever works for you. And that was about checklists and to-do lists. Checklists consisting of the rituals that you need to do, which might not have immediate gratifications, but will help you in the long run. To-do lists are day-to-day activities which need to be done. One thing that's common with the young generation nowadays is that everyone is very, very ambitious, right? So when you are very ambitious and you have huge goals set for yourself, it often seems that, you are almost intimidated by them, right? So the best way to approach your goals is to break them down. You must have heard this like everywhere, right? Break it down into smaller things, forget about the major goal, try to achieve these single things. But how do you really approach it, right? Now, what I said about the to-do lists and the checklists, that I would assume as a middle ground. Okay, let's get a very zoomed out perspective of what this is going to help us with. So you have a big goal in your life, for example, like a huge exam that you have to take up for your graduation or your post-graduation, something that's of a lot of importance to you, right? You have this goal in your life, you're going to break it down. So for example, you have to achieve this goal in a year. So you are going to make sure that there are plans set for every month to achieve that goal, right? You're breaking into small chunks. It's very important that we shouldn't get intimidated by the huge goal. So we break it down and we forget about the goal. It's important to have an awareness that this is where you want to go, but trying to hold on to the goal in itself can always be very scary. Because every time you're low, every time you work too much, or every time you're feeling insecure about yourself, the goal is only going to seem much more scarier than it actually is. So forget about the goal, just have an awareness that, okay, this is where you have to reach, but do not hold on to it very tight, right? Focus on those smaller chunks of the things that you need to achieve to get there. That is a very cliche advice, just giving you again, just to get this whole thing in context. So you have a goal, you're going to break it into chunks. Now, what are you going to do to reach that goal? You will have certain things that you need to do on a daily basis, put that on your checklist, and things you need to do that are different, right, for every day, that on your to-do lists. So that is clear from a very middle ground perspective. Now, after this, let's get into the micromanagement of this whole idea of setting up a goal, breaking this into chunks, forming the checklist and the to-do lists for these tasks. And then how do I manage these tasks again individually? So for example, let's take one task on your to-do list and how to get that done effectively. There are a couple of techniques which work for me, and this is what I'm going to be sharing you. One of it being Pomodoro technique, which is nothing but setting a timer for 25 minutes and focusing on that work for 25 minutes and taking 5 minutes off that work so that your mind is doing something entirely different from the task you're at, and then getting back to that task again for another 25 minutes. I'll tell you why this works. With increased exposure to the social media and all the stimulus that keeps consistently bombarding our brains, it is difficult to focus for hours together unless you're very passionate about it. Okay, there are instances where people get into this flow that for hours they don't even realize that a lot of time has passed, or they are hungry or something like this. We've heard stories of all these scientists or these musicians who have that flow. But I'm talking about the things that require discipline. Even if your goal is something that you're very passionate about, there will be a part of your goal which will suck no matter what. But it is nevertheless very much required for you to actually reach that goal. So in that instance, you need discipline. Motivation is not going to be the one which will solely help you. So in that case, use something like Pomodoro technique. Now, in that 25 minutes, if I'm not able to focus, what do I do? First thing, focus requires a certain amount of willpower. So how do you increase willpower? I would say meditation, but I'm going to get into that a little later. So let's start about what are the techniques, tangible techniques that can be used to avoid distractions. First thing is to keep everything that is distracting away. This is very cliched advice everyone gives, that is, keep your phone aside, shut down all the notifications which at least aren't important, or just eliminate any distracting thing from your workspace. Very simple. Second thing is, for example, if I'm sitting and studying and I've planned that this 25 minutes I'm not going to focus on anything else other than my work, right? And there's a thought that, randomly there's a thought that I need to go out and get something. Or even if it's an important thought, just keep a sticky note next to you and write that task down. Write it down and tell that, after this 25 minutes, I can do this task, right? Your mind is initially, at least when you begin this technique, your mind will come up with amazing ideas that you could do instead of the task you're actually focusing on. Just make sure you write them down and tell your brain, I'm going to be doing this in that 5-minute break, or that after the session is over. So this amount of, challenge you need to put on yourself. There's a saying that there are a lot of ill effects of having a big ego, but the so-called dare, when you dare to do certain things, when you take something as a challenge, the same ego helps you out to actually finish that task. So take it upon yourself that, no matter what happens, unless it's an emergency, obviously that's very rare. Take this as a dare and make sure you focus on the work you're doing and you'll be good to go. Write those things down so that you can do it later. And, after some point, when you actually do this task and you get better at it, this becomes a habit and your mind will come up with less and less things of, distracting you, because you now have the willpower, you've developed that muscle to write it down and then eventually do it later. So it is totally going to work here. So that is one of the techniques. The other technique, a lot of people again can ask that, I might not even have that willpower to write it down and tell myself that I'm going to do it later because my mind will not listen. How do I develop that? Now, to have a higher willpower, we need to start small at least. We need to have at least a bit of willpower to increase that willpower. Now, how to get that at least that minimum threshold willpower? I would suggest another technique which again requires a bit of willpower, that is meditation. Start with something that's very basic, 20-minute meditations. It's available on YouTube for free. I'll link in the description one of my favorite 21 days challenge of meditation by Sri Ravi Shankar Gurudev, which is absolutely amazing, 20 minutes a day. You can totally put it aside, keep that time aside for meditation and practice it, and you'll be able to notice that difference. Sometimes trying to find these hacks online, no one's going to give you magic ideas. No one's going to give you certain things that can work without a bit of willpower. People can only take you till there, and it is all your hard work and your consistency and your persistence and your intense focus that is going to take you to your goals. And it cannot happen with snap of fingers. It just cannot happen. So that needs to be first of all understood, and I pretty much know everyone gets this. The other small tip I want to include in here is there's this book called as Eat That Frog, in which the author says that Tasks which require less than 2 minutes, do not postpone them, just do them, right? Any task that requires less than 2 minutes, just get them done first, right? So that's something that I've found very helpful, because a lot of times we procrastinate on the very, very tiny things that actually stack up and become troublesome later, right? If the tasks require very less time, finish them off. That's one of the ideas. The other idea in the same book is, as the title of the book suggests, is Eat That Frog, is trying to get the most difficult task of the day or in that day which you've planned to be done first, because that's the time when you have the maximum willpower. You might have noticed, for yourself, that when you sleep and get up in the morning, if you've had good sleep, your willpower is maximum in the morning in comparison to the end of the day, by the end of the day. So make sure the most difficult task that you think requires a lot of discipline and focus, finish it first thing in the morning. Another bonus tip I want to give you is about how to increase one's concentration. It will again require a bit of willpower. There's no other substitution for that. If you actually have the willpower to sit here and listen about productivity, then watch some entertaining video, that means you already have that willpower to actually be productive at your work. Okay, for instance, I am standing in line for some paperwork in a bank, and I realize that it's going to take another 10 minutes for me to actually reach the counter for my work to be done. What will I do? I'm going to pull up my phone and probably scroll Instagram or watch something on Facebook, or do some random activity. That is my obvious reaction. And I think pretty much everyone nowadays who has access to a phone or anything similar will do something very similar. But this is where the mistake is. We should learn to get bored. It's like the minute our mind doesn't have any stimulus, it asks for it, right? It craves for it. It's almost as bad as the addiction to alcohol, to drugs, or any form of substance abuse, because our mind is not ready to be empty. It wants to be filled up with some or the other stimulus. This is nothing but about the dopamine detox and everything that's viral on the internet. But what I'm talking about here is just get bored. Why? What do I mean? When you're eating your food, if you have a habit of watching television with it, scrolling through your phone while you're eating something, don't do it. Just eat food. The mind is going to ask for it. It's going to be so bad. You'll have withdrawal syndromes. It is really bad, especially in the initial days. So keep yourself few days as a challenge, like 21 days challenge again, because it takes 21 days to actually form a habit. It takes 90 days to form really good habits, but start with 21. Start small, and you're going to be consistent with it. So say to yourself that this 21 days, I'm not going to do this. And after 21 days, it's going to be so much more easier for you to continue with that particular habit. So I'm not going to watch television while I'm eating. I'm not going to be, if I'm going to be talking to someone, I'm not going to be checking the phone, even if the person is very, boring. So there's another book called The Deep Work, which talks about doing one task at a time and completely focusing on that task. It might seem like this is not so much of a big deal because it's easy. No, if you have prior habits of doing multiple things at one time, it will be very difficult for you to focus on one thing. So learn to get bored. If you think that doing one thing is boring and my mind is super human to be, doing a lot of things, it's just a myth. We are not multitaskers. So be very clear on this, that I'm going to be purposely getting bored by focusing on one thing. Even if I'm standing and doing nothing, it's okay. Even if I think that I can utilize this time and get a lot of productive things done, it's fine. If it's necessary for that time, you have an exam coming, you need to study in whatever little time you have, that's fine. But other than that, please do not get into these stimulus and make it a habit for your brain to crave for it more. So while you're getting bored, get bored. While you're eating, just eat. While you're watching this video, just watch this video. It's as simple as that. So that will help you increase concentration. Meditation is going to help you increase concentration. And while you work on little tasks on your to-do list or on your checklists, you're going to be writing down things while they bombard, so that they, take you off focus. Write them down so that you can focus on those tasks in that Pomodoro technique, that is 25 minutes of focusing. Other than that, you have understood, of course, about the ritual that can be done on a routine basis with the checklists and to-do lists. And it's important to have checklists visible to you all the time, and see if you can have those tick marks in a sequence. It's mostly going to be in sequence. We have a sense of OCD for a certain completion. If you're making a streak of things and there's something missing, there's something in you which doesn't like it. So you don't want anything to get missed in between. So try to maintain a pretty pattern of things. I remember initially I used to draw a string of flowers so that they look pretty at the end. And in case I missed that particular task, that string wouldn't get completed. So something like that. There's also, I would suggest, an app called as the Forest app, which actually lets you focus. As soon as you start the timer for those 25 minutes, there'll be a sapling which grows into a tree in those 25 minutes. And in case you try to use your phone in those 25 minutes, the tree is going to be cut, which doesn't feel great. So obviously you're going to be compassionate towards that virtual tree and you keep working. So keep a certain streak, keep certain rituals which might help you have focus, and that's pretty much the way it could work. And from this checklist and to-do list, you can make monthly tasks, monthly accomplishments, and stack those months up. And then eventually, in no time, you don't even have to worry about your goal. It will be taken care by itself. You just have to focus on the process. As Sri Krishna Paramatma in Bhagavad Gita says, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachane. You are given the right to action, not to the fruits thereof. What does he mean? He says, focus on your work. You don't have the intellect to fathom the results it is going to have. So you never know what fruit, what action will actually lead to. So just focus on the activities that you need to do with these to-do lists and checklists, and the goal will take care of itself. Do not worry or get intimidated by the goal you've set. Just break them down, start working on them, micromanage them with these little techniques. Read these books, they're very, very helpful. Do comment down below about what are your tips on, greater focus while micromanaging these techniques. So I hope you guys actually found this interesting. I hope there are at least some things that resonates with you, and you pick up something and it'll be helpful for you. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like this content, do subscribe to my channel. I'll be making similar content on this particular channel. Do like this video and comment down below about how you felt and about your productivity tips that you'd want to give others. And that's pretty much it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.